YouTube started. So we're gonna try out this game, and supposedly it's just one and done, 2-3 hours, and then we're good. Maybe 4 max, depending on how long we take. But fuck, I'm still excited to try it out. And someone bought it for me because they love the game so freaking much. It was Tuxedo. Tuxedo loved the game so freaking much that he bought it for me just so I can try it out. So now we're getting it out. Gotta go try it out. Let's see what we're walking into. Sir Bear. Sir Bear Brante. Chapter restarts. Consequences. You hold the fate of a single man in your hands. You will follow his life from birth to death. Your choices shall define Sir Brante, who Sir Brante will grow up to be. You will decide his personality, social status, and what mark he'll leave on history. With every step he takes at your behest, Sir Brante's character will change and evolve. Your decisions will close some doors for him, but open many others. The world of Sir Brante's birth is a ruthless realm, where people are divided into estates. It is hard to be a hero here. Be ready to accept that Sir Brante cannot overcome every challenge in his path. Every hard choice will test his character and personal qualities. Often you will not be able to make the choice you would like to. It may happen because you chose a different road earlier, exhausted your hero's willpower, or haven't earned the right position in society. Every victory will be a struggle, a path paved with bitter losses and gut-wrenching failures. Accept the tragedy. This is how you will create a gripping and unique tale of your hero. What will become of your Sir Brante, his loved ones, and his world? It all depends on you.
The story of my life remains written on these pages, but my fate has always been my own. Every deed, every choice, every person I met made me what I am. Could I have taken a different path? Could I have found a different calling? Altered the very course of history? And what price would I have to pay?
At the end of time, your fingers are stained with ink, your breathing grows ragged, your hands are shaking. Yet the words begin appearing on the page before you, one by one, clinging together to form a chronicle of your own life. Who are you, and how did you reach this end? You were born, raised, and lived your entire life in the blessed Arcanian Empire. In this land, a man's destiny is predetermined at the moment of his birth. Whether human, Arcanian, nobleman, priest, or even a low-born commoner, all bend to the divine will of the twin gods. And each life is not but a single cog in the universe's immeasurable machine. The memories come flooding back. They engulf you as a merciless wave, binding together days that are thrice dead and gone. The dreams of your childhood, your adolescence, your youth spent in the capital, years of peace teeming with life, and a war drenched in blood. High ranks and lowly deeds, opulent palaces, secretive city backstreets, fields of battle, and faces. So many faces of the people you held dear, the people who walked this road by your side. Such was your life, now all exposed by ink erupting onto the page. With your every step you sought to change the world as you saw fit. The choices of your upbringing, the path you carved in your youth, the fruits of your struggle, the consequences of your sacrifice, all of it led you here, to the end of your time. And every choice had a price. Now, years and years later, the crossroads of your life echo in your memory. The pain and joy intermingled. Could you have taken a different path, chosen a different calling, found a different place in the world? You have the power to alter the very course of history. Now, on the verge of death, you struggle with doubt, seeking answers to the last and most crucial questions of all. Your life. Of all the past and lives, why did you walk this one? Did you choose your own fate? Or was your life shaped by forces beyond your control? What determines a man's destiny? The man himself, the world around him, a higher power. There is no destiny. I believe in making my own destiny. Fuck. You can hear death's footsteps drawing near. You square your shoulders and take a deep, full breath. You have found your final answer. What is destiny other than a long chain of your own actions and decisions? No matter what happened in your life, you always had a choice. You lived the life you deserved. Only you can answer for it now. But are you right about this? Is it all true? To learn the truth, you will have to return to the very beginning, remembering every step you took along the way. On these pages, the story of a man named Bear Brante who will live once more. Chapter 1. Childhood. Childhood, where life begins. First words, first unsteady steps. You are but the small child learning about the world in which you were born. To you, everything is so new, so baffling, and so unforgiving. A long, trying life stretches before you. So many feats and faults, so many fateful choices to come. Yet you are already sowing the seeds of your future self. You are learning to live and survive in this world, looking for a place within it to call your own, choosing your future destiny. Who will you grow up to be? In chapters childhood, adolescence, and youth, you'll live through your hero's coming of age. You'll shape the protagonist's personalities, qualities, and relationships. By the end of the prologue, you'll determine the state and future occupation of your hero. Only in adulthood will he start to influence the world around him, and even the ultimate fate of the Empire. Who will Bear Brante grow up to be? It's your call. So this definitely has multiple replayability feels right there. Childhood, where life begins. First words, first unsteady steps. Who will you grow up to be? Events in the personal life of the hero. Okay, the fencing lesson. You dare to study fencing, like your father, even though you have no right to. Wait, by birth. As a small child, you suffer your first death and rebirth. What the fuck? You experience an insight when your mother tells you about the ways of the world and the lots of its inhabitants. You challenge the sacred order and attempt to seize a noble lot. Jesus. Nobleman's sacrament? I don't think we're noble yet, are we? I dare to study fencing. That's probably going to be my best bet. Because as of now, if I don't know what kiss the sword means, but you challenge the sacred order and attempt. Your personality qualities at this age. They determine which choices you make. I'm spineless, I'm inattentive. Your inner strength and the number of lesser deaths that you have experienced. These qualities will stay with you for your entire life, untouched by death. What happens if you die? After suffering a lesser death, one is reborn. The one who dies a true death faces the judgment of... Oh. So we die 4 times. We face the gods, and that's literally the end of the game. Okay. We have some willpower. The sections that open in this chapter: destiny, personality, House of Brante, and family. So all these 4 right here. Our destiny, we haven't chosen anything yet. We're Bear Brante. We're lowborn. All we have right now is willpower. Our House of Brante, we have tarnished honor, moderate means, and we are currently at peace. Okay. Our family is very simple. Alright, cool. Begin the chapter. At first there was nothing. No time, no sensation, nothing but darkness and void. But then a will breathed life into nothingness. Matter and spirit were set in motion. History began its march. It was your turn to enter this world. Your first memory, you are lying on your back, blinded by a bright white light. You are not alone. Above you tower the colossal figures of those who created you. You are part of them, and they are part of you. Between you and them is an inexplicable connection, a strong, unbreakable link. They will always watch over you, guard you, and protect you. It hurts to breathe. You let out the pain in the form of a desperate scream. Your creators extend their hands towards you. There are two of them, the ones who made your form from their own selves and brought you into this world. They are united, yet as they get closer, you begin to see how different they are. You can already feel the differences within you, struggling against each other. The first figure is soft and pathetic, wise and merciful. The love that emanates from it wraps you head to toe like an invisible blanket. The warmth from it is never-ending. The second figure is strong and powerful, commanding and noble. It is harsh but fair, a beacon of guidance, a force of protection, and merciless punishment for every misdeed. Yet there is also a third figure. It is like a shadow barely seen behind them, yet already pulsing with the unbreakable will to live. It is the very will to live that is now growing ever stronger within you. A soft open palm. A strong closed fist. A lingering distant shadow. You struggle to loosen the swaddling clothes wrapped around you and extend a tiny hand in the world. So, do we want better perception, determination, or willpower? I say perception. Your little palm awkwardly claps the soft finger. You explore your mother's hand by touch. She smiles gently as her arms wrap around you and lift you up. She smells of home, that indescribable smell that feeling of safety that is second to none. Her embrace is the warmest place in the world, a place you want to stay for all eternity. Your life in this world begins. How will you live it? Hide and seek. As the days go by, you learn to tell your parents apart. You recognize father by his heavy breathing and strong, cold hands. He visits you rarely. Hello there, little Bear Brante. Mother's tender voice, however, hang on. Is there anything else besides that? Mother's tender voice, however, follows you day and night. My, you're growing up so quickly, my child. There are two more children in the family named Stefan and Gloria. Gloria sings songs to you. She often dresses you in tight clothing and gently holds your hands as you learn to take your first steps. Stefan likes to sweep you up and pinch you and toss you into the air. Oh look, this is your brother and sister. Yeah, you're my little brother. We're gonna play together, but I'll always be in charge because you were born a commoner. Be quiet. He doesn't understand yet. Come on, baby bear. Let's go play in the yard. It is hot outside. You grip your brother's hand with one hand and your sister's with another as they help you walk down the giant stone stairs. Then you sit on the ground and start exploring the sparse blades of grass with your fingers. It tickles. In the sky far above and away from you is a gigantic pillar, a perfectly straight stick made of light. It is so bright, it hurts to look at. Why are you staring at the shining pillar? It's not going anywhere, you know. Hey, I want to play hide and seek. He's just a big little baby. How is he going to play? Then you hide him, and I'll try to find both of you. You have no idea what they are talking about, but you support them with happy cooing. This is strange, but so exciting. Stefan and Gloria glance at each other. Then your brother walks to a big tree, closes his eyes, and starts shouting something. Gloria takes your hand and walks you through the yard. Your sister takes you behind some thick bushes by a tall wall. The light from that light stick from the horizon barely reaches here. You can't see home from this place. The ground's crawling with tiny black bugs. Gloria sits you down on the ground, puts a finger to her mouth for some reason, and then she's gone. You can no longer hear Stefan's voice. Gloria is nowhere to be seen. You feel colder. The bugs are no fun to play with. You've been sitting here for a long time, completely alone. Nobody checks on you. Did they forget about you? Did they abandon you? So we can cry loudly we can up our willpower, up our determination, and sit there and wait. I think perception right now. Our determination, well, having one determination would be nice, but having perception up would be nice too. Because I like to be able to perceive things. Perceiving things would benefit me greatly in my eyes. So I'm going to sit here and wait. The bush is covered with leaves swaying in the wind. You brush through them with your fingers. The twigs and branches are stiff and will not bend. They are different from the blades of grass. Down on the ground you see a group of bugs carrying a little twig. You grab it from them. They're so funny. One of the bugs crawls on your finger and bites it. Just enough to sting a little. You hear brisk steps in the leaves and twigs rustling and parting. Your mother leans over you. You greet her with a happy face and show her the finger with the bug on it. So that's where they took you. Mother picks you up, puts you to her chest, and pats you on the head. Your brother and sister stand behind her, clearly feeling guilty. Gloria is in tears. Stefan keeps staring at his feet. Did they leave me there on purpose? You hug Mother tightly. She is here now. Makes me a little nervous about her siblings now. Okay, another memory. You're still a little child, but you can already talk and run around on your own. Today is out of the ordinary. Father is busy around the house, giving orders to the servants. Throughout the day, the kitchen has been abuzz with work, and there are solemn, gloomy preparations and candles being lit. Even older brother Stefan is quiet today. Mother takes your hand and brings you to your sister Gloria. My son, today is the great descent. We honor the day when the twin gods descended to us. We must spend this day in reverence to the gods. You are too young to understand, so just do everything your sister says for now. Gloria takes you to the playroom. There are no toys there, no chairs. Even the carpet has been taken away. There is nothing there but a bare wooden floor. Today we're not allowed to go to any other rooms. It will be eating nothing but gruel and stale bread. On the day of the great descent, everyone must be where they belong. It is quiet, unusually so. Muffled voices from beyond the doors are all you can hear. You're sitting on the cold floor, confused, with no idea what to do. Then you hear your sister's voice, a lonely sound in the empty room. It's a little song that mother taught her. You hold your breath as you listen to it. When the twins came down to earth, they brought lots for every birth. Let us count them, 1, 2, 3. The twins they made them for you and me. Nobles rule and bravely fight. They protect us with their might. Priests work hard to understand, guided by the twins' commands. Common people work and toil, always patient, never spoiled. Live your lot where you were born, to the day when you pass on. Know your lot and know the prayer, for the twins see everywhere. You're transfixed by the tune. Gloria notices your gaze, and a smile creeps across her face. You like the rhyme, don't you, Bear? Do you know what it's all about? Look, there are 3 lots. They were brought to us by the twins when they descended to us from the shining pillar. Remember that pillar of light on the horizon? That's it! You can see the shining pillar anytime, from anywhere in the world. If you follow your lot as you live, you'll reach the peak of the pillar. And if you don't, you'll get eternal torment at the foot. You and I are lowborn. Mom is a commoner too. So the lot for you and me is to suffer and be patient and work hard. Understand? The priests and the noble have other lots. The nobles fight and rule over everybody. The priests, well, I'm not really sure what they do, but I guess they talk to the twins and then teach everybody. Gloria stares at you intently. Did you get it, silly? Then she shakes her head and keeps singing the song over and over again. Her voice transfixes you, drawing you in. The room starts to glow like the sky. From this light emerges two figures you have known ever since the moment of your birth. One of them embraces your sister's shoulder. The other stands guard behind her back. You watch this happening before your very eyes, unable to turn away. Gloria is swaying to the song. Unaware of what is happening, she sings the final verses once more. Know your lot and know your prayer. You feel compelled by this divine sight to express yourself somehow. You feel words condescending within you from the light. But what will these words be? Finish the song properly. Know your lot and know your prayer. For the twins see everywhere. You sing the last line together with Gloria. Your sister looks up at you in surprise and gives you a nod. The shining pair standing behind her back turn to look at you. You can feel their gaze piercing from top to bottom. When the moment passes, they melt into the dim light coming from the window. Gloria turns her head to look at where you were staring. Did you see something, Bear? You shake your head. Not anymore. You are starting to understand more and more of what the adults say. Your family is an unusual one. Your father is a nobleman, but not by birth. His is a title earned through great service, but your mother is a low-born woman, a commoner. Because of this, you were born a commoner. But father says you may yet come unto nobility. You learn to read at an early age. Together with mother, you read and learn by heart the many poems about the divine twins, the twin gods who reside upon the shining pillar. Mother calls these poems prayers. Again and again you try to discern the shapes of the gods in the strip of holy light that shines in the sky all day and night, but the light is too blinding to gaze upon. The greatest joy of all is when the stairs are no longer an unsurmountable obstacle. Now you can climb and even jump from step to step. Father urged you to be more careful and avoid climbing too high. But even though you keep falling, you never stop being curious about the world around you. Your older brother, Stefan... Sorry, guys. Long day for me. Your older brother, Stefan, now spends less and less time playing with Gloria and you. Playing with commoners is beneath a nobleman to be, he says. So Gloria calls him names, and Stefan pulls her pigtails. One fine evening, Father gathers you all in the sitting room with an announcement. You will have another little brother or sister soon. Gloria asks him to bring home a little sister. Another brother would be too much. Stefan gets frustrated. There are too many little siblings getting in his way as it is. Soon will be an older brother too, and it doesn't really matter who the youngest will be. A boy or girl, you'll love them the most. When Father comes back from his trips, he reads his adult books aloud for you. You find those stories of war, generals, and rebellions quite enchanting, and Father approves of your fascination. Study hard and maybe one day become a noble of the mantle and earn your sword. But first, you need to grow up. Growing up, the concept is as terrifying as it is alluring. Jesus, what the fuck? You keep staring at the carpet under your feet. You are both ashamed and proud, and it feels odd. A scratch in your hand stings a little. Stefan is standing next to you, sniffling from pain. Your brother was training in the yard with a wooden sword. You wanted to play with him, but he ended up getting angry and throwing the sword at you. The stick hit you in the shoulder. You picked it up and hit him with it. You see Mother's shoes walking to and fro on the carpet. You do not want to look up. You would rather not see her angry. She is not as gentle as to you these days. Why did you hurt Stefan, Bear? You stammer out an explanation. He hit you first. You just hit him back. How dare you pester me like that? When I grow up, I'm gonna hit you with a real sword. Mother shushes you both and speaks to you again. Her voice is stern, and yet you can still feel her concern for you. Even if Stefan hits you, you cannot hit him back. You are my son, and I was born a commoner. Our lot is to suffer, but your brother was born from a noble father and a noble mother. His sacrament is coming soon, and then he'll rule over the likes of us. If you hurt a noble, you must be punished. That is your lot. And the sooner you learn it, the better off our entire family will be. Stefan looks at you in triumph. You look up at Mother in fear, not sure what to do. Oh, boy. Ah. I don't think I'm guilty. We're both kids. You get angry and yeet a sword at me, wooden or not, I'm gonna hit you back with it. So deny your guilt. You break out of Mother's arms and start screaming. You're innocent, you cry, and if he hits you, you'll hit him back. All fear and shame are gone. You stand up straight and stare defiantly into Mother's eyes. Her expression grows bitter. She catches you by the collar of your shirt and drags you down the stairs. I'm doing this for your own good. Do not defy me, Bear. You're born a commoner, my son. Power and will is not your lot. This is Stefan's lot. He'll become a noble soon. Life for you and me is humility and suffering. You have to accept it. You are flogged in front of your entire family. The pain burns on your skin again and again. You clench your teeth and hold back the tears. This is the only way you can prove that you are your brother's equal. It is the only way you can prove that one day you will have the right to rule and fight. Gloria's rhymes. Mother mostly stays in her chambers now. With each passing day, she grows heavier and her features get rounder. It gets difficult for her to walk, but she still smiles all the time. One day she takes your hands and puts them on her big belly, and you feel a movement deep inside her. You will have another brother or sister soon. Gloria takes you on walks to the yard now. You explore the yard together under the evening light of the pillar, and she sings you songs and tells you amazing stories. Hey Bear, did you want to hear a rhyme? I wrote it myself. There's even a bit about you, but don't tell anyone, okay? Writing poems and songs is only for nobles. If Mommy hears about it, I'll get flogged. Remember how you got flogged for hitting Stefan? Our judge is my second father. In the past, I had another. Mother says the twins are great. Says we should not fight our fate. Brother loves to jump around. Please don't fall down on the ground. See, I wrote a little rhyme. Please don't tell them it is mine. But today your sister is nowhere to be seen. She promised to take you to the old pond and show you the red frogs that live there, but then she vanished. The servants join you in your search. Even Mother leaves her chambers when she hears the commotion. Finally, you find Gloria in the far corner of the garden. She's holding a quill and sheets of paper covered in poetry. Mother becomes angry the moment she sees it. She looks through the poetry and her face grows dark with rage. Gloria is standing before her, wringing her hands and looking for an opportunity to run, but there seems to be no escape. What is this nonsense, Gloria? We talked about this. You were told to take care of your little brother. You're absolutely not allowed to entertain yourself with this writing. I can sign that for myself, Mom. You know you cannot. It has already been decided by the gods. And he's not a little brother anymore. He doesn't need a nanny. And I need some time alone to think for myself. I'm not hurting anyone. You are a commoner and a future wife. It's time you learn how to properly care for children. Had your disgraceful former father kept me in his house, you could have been born a noble. But that is not our fate. And you are absolutely forbidden from ever spoiling paper and wasting ink again. Mother grabs Gloria firmly by the hand and takes you both into the house. The scribbled sheets fly into the fireplace. Gloria sobs violently. You are a bystander in this cutscene, unsure of how to act. Complain about your sister? Why would I want that? Offer to write rhymes with her. Comfort your sister. I lose willpower though? I want to get my perception to 5 if I can, personally. Mother leaves. The last of your sister's poetry burns away in the fireplace. You hug your sister and whisper to her. Let's go to the library, you say. The two of you can hide under the table and write something together. Gloria shakes her head violently. Mother said no, and there is no way she would ever defy her. You reassure her that it will be your secret. You pull Gloria to the library. She fights you, but you refuse to relent. You carefully peek inside. Your sister takes a small book from one of the shelves, and you read it together onto the table. It's a book of poetry about eternal love. Gloria clearly adores it. You decide to write a poem of your own. She recites a line in an ecstatic voice, and you repeat it after her and offer a rhyme of your own. She nods happily. You do this until the day ends. You have written a poem of your own and learned it by heart, but not a single line of it has ever been committed to paper, which means that you stay true to your mother's rule. Oh, that's pretty smart. Alright. Ooh, we're going up fast. Makes me nervous, I'm not gonna lie. We've only been doing play for 30 minutes. We're already age 4. Winter. The coming sacrament. Mother is in her armchair, knitting woolen jackets, pants, and socks for the little one. The baby will need to be kept warm, she says. Father spends less time at home now. Mother says he's very busy with his important job. He is a judge, after all. One day, you decide to ask Mother about Stefan and Gloria. How come they're brother and sister to you, but not siblings to each other? Well, my dear, I didn't give birth to Stefan, you see. He's the son of another mother. And Gloria is a daughter of another father. So they're both half-siblings to me. Come now, don't knit your brow like that. You'll understand when you're older. Hang on. I need to understand this. Hang on. I didn't give birth to Stefan, but the dad, he's the son of another mother. And Gloria is a daughter of another father. Alright, so... Okay, I think I understand. How's that even possible? You're all family, are you not? Several days later, Mother calls Stefan and Gloria to the sitting room. You sneak in after them, but... At first, Mother gets angry and asks you to leave, but then she relents. You're told to sit still, be quiet, and remember every word you hear. When you enter the temple, bow to the twins. First to the elder on the right, and then the younger on the left. Stefan, you're noble to be. So walk along the side paved with marble, where the benches are. Gloria, you walk along the sharp side. When you're there, you must get down on your knees, each on your own side. Stefan, kiss the sword. Gloria, my daughter, they'll strike you with the lash. Don't be afraid of it. Resign yourself to the suffering it brings. It is a blessing of your lot. Gloria doesn't like the idea of the lash. There's a tense feeling in your chest as well. You were told to remember this. Will the lash strike you too one day? On the next day, they take your brother and sister to the temple. You run towards them when they finally come back. The back of Gloria's dress is soaked with blood. She's hunched a bit, sobbing quietly. Stefan is putting on airs, acting prouder than ever. Nothing else looks different about them. It's like all is the same, yet everything has changed. Each of them has accepted their lot. We did nothing and somehow we got that. Your siblings, Stefan and Gloria, took their first sacraments at the temple. Oh god, they're crying. Ugh. Alright, so you eyed the little bundle in your father's arms with curiosity. Behind the many layers of swaddling clothes is your newborn baby brother. Mother is glowing and smiling with joy. Stefan and Gloria are also there, all excited. You promise yourself you're going to be the best big brother in the world. You'll never hit him. Oh no. The two of you will play together and tease Stefan together and help Mother together and go on so many adventures together. It feels so strange to be an older brother. Just the other day you were the youngest in the family, but everything is different now. Your parents name your little brother Nathan. The mother spends the day and night by his side, and Nathan cries all the time, day and night. Mother barely gets any sleep. She's so worn out she starts forgetting things. Like today, for instance. She forgot her knitting in the armchair in the sitting room. You better bring it back to her as soon as possible. You run to Mother's bedroom. You miss her smile so much. You walk in without saying hello and give her the knitting. But instead of gratitude, you get an ice-cold, exhausted stare. Nathan is also there, screaming all the time. Go away, Bear. You're bothering me. She spits these words out through her teeth. You look at the bawling newborn. She can't even get a minute of respite. Enough already. When are you going to stop? I just want some peace and quiet. Mother leaps across the room and starts shaking Nathan with malice in her eyes. His cries get even louder. She looks so tired from his never-ending scream. She seems to be within an inch of smashing him against the wall. Somebody has to do something. You're scared of your mother right now, but you fear Nathan's life much more. Redirect her anger to yourself. What am I lacking? She has to be grateful to me, so she's not currently grateful. I'd say, yeah, redirect her anger to yourself. Mother keeps shaking Nathan's violently, and you cannot stay away any longer. He is no longer bawling. He is shrieking. Just leave me alone. But then out comes your voice, so loud it drowns out their cries. No, it's not Nathan's fault, Mother. You're just tired. Please don't do anything to my little brother. If you have to punish somebody, punish me instead. He's too young. He won't understand. Your mother freezes and looks at you. Her eyes, two narrow slits. Her stare is cold and full of pure wrath. So pure you cannot help but recoil in fear. I was not ready for that. Are you trying to teach me how to take care of a child? Are you giving me lessons on calming a newborn baby? You insolent, insipid, nagging know-it-all. It's time you learned your place. She puts Nathan on the bed sheets, then moves towards you. You step back, but a closed door blocks your way. She slaps you across the face. Your ears ring from the heavy blow, and your cheek burns from her wrath. You wince and close your eyes, expecting a second slap, but nothing comes. Nothing but Mother's heavy breath and Nathan's shrill screams. Then there's a knock at the door. You step aside. Father walks in. He looks at you, clutching the reddened cheek. At the bawling baby. At Mother. Her eyes red with rage and tears, her breath heavy and ragged. Go to your room, son. I'll join you soon. You do as you're told. Back in the room, you press your aching cheek against the cold window, hurt and dazed by what just happened. Soon enough, Nathan stops crying. You hear Father's heavy footsteps in the hallway. He comes into your room and sits on the bed next to you. Son, please do not be angry with your mother. The twins know she wishes nobody any harm. This is a difficult time for her, but we will make it through it as a family. You stepped up to protect your brother. You acted like a little nobleman today. I'm proud of you. Your mother and Nathan are resting now. How bad does it hurt? You shake your head. Not bad, but your hand still aches to clutch the cheek. Father embraces you with a sorrowful smile and gingerly pats you on the head as you press your forehead into his housecoat. He has a housecoat. Things grow calm now. The trouble has passed, and you're quietly happy. Your younger brother Nathan is born. This is the ant farm. This event is a consequence of your previous actions. Oh. Your younger brother Nathan is growing. Mother spends more time with the rest of the family now. You help her and play with your brother and take care of him when she asks. You often go to Mother's room to sit at the foot of her bed after Nathan falls asleep. She reads you the sacred books and asks you about the things you learned that day. During these moments, you see the world through her eyes as well. One day, the door of your room opens, and she brings in a large box covered with a piece of cloth. It is rare for you to see her so overjoyed. She sets the box on the floor and moves the cloth. The box under the cloth is made of glass and has a wooden base. Inside, you see a layer of earth shaped into carefully crafted passages, and these passages are full of hard-working ants. Bear, this is my gift to you, an ant farm. It's a little world in a small box. We can watch them through the glass. Look, this is the queen ant. She is the reason all these little ants were born. You sit by the box together. You hold your breath as you watch the ant colony at work. There turns out to be a method to the ants. Chaotic movements. Every single one of them has a task to perform. Some of them are larger, have larger mandibles. Little mini. They are the protectors of the colony. They can draw blood from your finger. Others work around the colony, repairing the walls and clearing debris from the passage. There are also workers who collect food you put in a special tray, leaves, bits of meat, maggots, and bring it to the rest of the colony. You take a worker ant and put it right next to the food. However, the insect has no interest in it. It starts circling around the tray aimlessly. Mother takes the tray and put it back to where it belongs. Why did you do that, my son? The ants cannot do what they weren't born to do. Each of them was born for their own job. You shake your head slowly. If only the ants could do whatever you wanted them to. This is your gift now, so they belong to you. Or maybe mother's presence is the reason they won't obey you. An epiphany. I mean, some willpower would be nice, and having a relationship with her could be useful, I guess. I mean, I do want an epiphany. When immunity goes down, I don't care about that. Perception goes up, I don't care about that. The epiphany is what matters to me, but... So 2v1, so keep playing with Mother. Mother's look is full of warmth and love. Nathan, Gloria, and Father are away right now. For the first time in a long while, it is just the two of you. And Mother takes great joy in watching over the ant farm. She shares her knowledge of the world with you. The things she tells you are true. You move closer to her and suggest going outside and finding some bugs for the ants. She agrees to this happily and holds your hand as you leave the house. Soon you are busy catching bugs and sharing your thoughts on how the ants will feed the colony with them. From time to time you laugh together, making up stories about errant flies and caterpillars overthrowing the ant kingdom. I have sympathy. Okay, you and Mother hold hands as you return to your room. She can't help but smile. It is a faked smile, a child's smile, a smile full of sunlight. You are so happy to have seen the world through her eyes today. You wake up to Father's touch on your shoulder. He is finally back home after a long trip. Bear, today is your special day, the day we begin your studies. Now, teachers will be coming to our home and teach you, and you must do everything they say. Be diligent in your studies, and you will grow closer to the nobleman's lot. And since you must remember this day, a present is in order. Lydia, get her a little schoolboy dress. I am taking him to the market district. Stefan wants to come with you too, but Father shushes him sternly. This is your day. Your elder brother is hurt to hear this, but stays quiet. An open carriage takes the two of you through the dusty, noisy city streets, a pleasant wind tussling your hair. Your city is called Anizote, that you already know. It is one of the largest cities in the entire empire. There is a big shadow on the street. It comes from the white foliage of an enormous tree that spreads its branches all over the city. Damn. My son, did you know that the silver tree grew from the blood of our God's own disciples? It has been growing here for hundreds of years, right in our city. It cannot be damaged or burned. Not even the clergy know why. The carriage comes to a halt by a small shop next to a city square. You run there and freeze by the stalls in excitement. The shop is packed with dolls and figurines and toys. You've never seen so many at once before. Have you chosen your present yet, Father asks? You have. You want the Holy Order set, which includes several figurines of the Empire's greatest warriors of all time. You rattled off everything you know about the Holy Order. They were the ones who aided the Emperor's own forces seizing the province of Magra and storming our city, and that's how we joined the Empire. Father nods in approval. Very well! War isn't your lot for now, but maybe these toy soldiers will teach you to think like a general. We will lead them into battle and study military strategy. Go ahead, take your present. Having said this, Father turns away to examine the books. You run to the box of toy soldiers, delirious with excitement. But there is a fancy-dressed boy in your way. He's about to take your warriors for himself. He elbows you aside and reaches for the box. Anger overcomes you, and you push him from behind. Your opponent falls to the floor. The rich boy screams so loudly everybody in the shop hears it. He hit me! He hit me! A tall tower of a man looms over you. This is the boy's father. But then you feel your own father's hands on your shoulders. What happened? You press against Father, your mind more at ease now. He will protect you. Yes, you shoved the boy to the floor in front of everyone, but he tried to take your present for himself. Father turns you around to face him when he hears these words. Is it true, Bear? Did you strike the son of a nobleman? Determination sounds so nice right now. I'll lose willpower, but I say we hold on to it because it seems like willpower is kind of like this game's version of like currency. So to do special things, we must have willpower. So I'm gonna see if I can hold on to willpower, and I'll do determination because that seems to stick with you forever. It isn't fair to blame you without letting you speak too. You didn't want to shove that stupid boy. He was the one who shoved you first. But the angry nobleman, the boy's father, will not let you finish. Nobody cares a whit for your so-called truth, little lowborn. The law is the law, and your punishment is due. Your father nods agreement to these words, no matter how sad they may make him. They lead you and the nobleman's son out of the shop. You are told to bow to him and show humility. The bad feelings send a shiver down your spine. With a satisfied grin on his face, the boy swings his arm and slaps you on the cheek. He strikes you again and again. Enough! He got what he deserved. We're leaving. Get out of our way. Your head is swimming from the heavy blows. You turn to your senses back in your bed, with servants treating your face. The father stays by your side all day. The morning after, you find a little box in your bed with the tin soldiers of the Holy Order inside. You pay dearly for your stubbornness. I want to get one more determination, then we can just start maybe racking up willpower. Because I feel like we're gonna need some willpower here soon. Because I have a strong. I refuse to be called a lowborn. I'm gonna be something of greatness. I already saw a little thing where there's war later on, so I want to make sure I'm ready for that. And by being a lowborn, I cannot be part of that. By being a lowborn, I cannot be respected. By being a lowborn, I cannot be utilized to my full extent. And I will not accept that. There will be prices to pay. And I shall be the one that collects that due. Summer, the family dinner. Fuck. Either we're gonna bring the family closer together or you're gonna get torn apart. Most likely gonna get torn apart more. Today, father ordered the dinner table to be brought out into the yard. God damn it, give me a second. Me talking is... Imagine I put, like, voice acting into this. Hey, Kay, how's it going? Get my ass kicked. Okay, the first time in months, he's home. Outside of the confines of his always locked study. He spent the entire day playing with Nathan and you, discussing various matters with Stefan, now an adolescent, and walking in the garden, and now a dinner under the open sky. Your entire family gathers together, with father at the head of the table, smiling. He asks each of you about your studies. Nathan climbs up on his knee and recites a counting rhyme in a funny sing-song voice. No, White Mask, shut the fuck up. Stefan mentions that his fencing teacher praised his accomplishments. He rises from the table together with father to show his skill in a practice duel. Next comes Gloria's turn. She stands in her chair and recites a lengthy prayer by heart. Mother showers your sister with praise. Father chuckles quietly, hiding a smile in his mustache. When your turn comes, you recite all the ranks of the Legion, from common soldiers to high commander. Stefan listens to you with a skeptical look on his face, which is weird. Night slowly falls, but the servants ensure that the yard is well illuminated. You don't feel cold in the dusk night. It feels good, yet so important. All of you are finally together, sitting at the same table. No fighting, just smiles. No arguing, just pleasant small talk. Then a servant approaches father with a letter in his hand. He reads in the dim light, and each line gradually washes the smile off his face, until only a stone-cold mask remains. Mother looks at father with an unspoken question in her eyes. Gregor Brante is coming back to Enzonita. He's the head of our family. My father. Your grandfather Gregor Bent returned to the family home for the capital. If the father ain't happy, there's a reason behind it. Ever since the news of grandfather's impending arrival, There has not been a single day when the house has not been cleaned or decorated. Your parents anxiously make sure everything is in order. They tell you to wash your face and hands after walks and scold you for leaving books on the floor. They tell Gloria she will be flogged if she is ever seen hiding in the attic. That makes Stefan stay in his room. Even baby Nathan gets in trouble. Everyone is on edge. Hey, engineer. Engineer! Big news. I got the final card slot. 6,500 fucking diamonds. Gone. So now every single time I get 20, just send it. Just send it into the cards. I'm trying to max out all my goddamn cards now. If I can get my cards maxed out, oh, we're gonna fly. We are gonna fly. Free medals, free challenges, and having maxed out cards can get us a lot farther, a lot faster. I don't see a downside to it. And then after we get done with the cards, we save up those coins to help pay off laboratory things. Ooh! I've only got about 5 max from completing the challenge. What? Really? Holy shit! God damn, man. You fucking... you motherfucker. You motherfucker. One day, grandfather arrives. It is a grim day, so hot your neck is sticky with sweat. Father, mother, Stefan, Gloria, you, and Nathan. The entire Brant family stands on the porch in front of the house. The house servants lined up behind you. The carriage arrives, and out steps a tall, gaunt old man with a heavy walking stick and a heavier gaze. You cringe instinctively. Good health to you, father! Children, greet your grandfather as you have been taught. Still trying to look like a real nobleman, are you? You can't fool me, Robert. I was the first of the Brant family to be ennobled by that mantle, and I'm the only one who remembers how to bear this burden properly. What? I live honorably by my lot, says father. Your marriage to that low-born wench cut us off from ever becoming nobles of the sword. My progeny could have been born bearing noble blood. Father, I beg you, this is not the place. Grandfather eyes him with scorn and walks to the house, the entire family following close behind. I've been away far too long. The entire house is a mess. This is an insult. How can you live in such a pigsty, Robert? The servants have grown far too lazy, all thanks to your commoner of a wife. I warned you, did I not? And yet you did as you saw fit. And the children, what do they know of tradition or honor? They've been raised in a virtuous family, father. And now you're speaking like a lowborn who's content to live in humility? Twins willing, now that I am here, this will not happen again. I am taking your oldest son to the capital. I see you cannot provide Stefan with the proper education, so I will correct your mistake. Your brother's fate has been decided just like that. Father does not object. He orders the servants to prepare Stefan for the journey. Stefan freezes in place, glancing at grandfather and father again and again. The latter puts a hand on his shoulder reassuringly. Grandfather's lips are a tight line, white with contempt. The house is examined, room after room. Everything grandfather sees is showered with scorn. He scoffs at a crease on a blanket in Nathan's crib in mother's bedroom. He mocks Gloria's knitting in her room. The door to your room is next. What is this? Robert! Tin soldiers in your younger son's room. He was born a commoner. I won't have him daydreaming of battle. Grandfather sees the box containing the tin warriors of the Holy Order. Your father stays silent. Anger and fear boil within you. This is your big present from the first day of your studies. It means so much to you. But what if he's right? What if you need to prove your right to command the toy soldiers first? Grandfather shakes his head in disapproval and shoves the toy box into the roaring fireplace. If you wait too long, they will melt in the flames. My determination is not high enough. Oh. If I strike grandfather, I will die. I will die. My determination perception will go up, though. I guess we can just watch them melt helplessly. The wood crackles, the tin melts. The unpleasant smell of burning paint fills the room. Father grimly orders the servants to douse the fire and clean the mess that was your birthday present just a few moments ago. Oh, that hurt. I'm not gonna lie, that kind of hurt. That really fucking hurt. That kind of made me mad. I'm not gonna lie. Ah! I wish I could have done something. If I had one more determination, I would have yanked that shit out so fast. So fucking fast. You watch the servants at work with a strange fascination, experiencing an odd feeling of freedom. It all seems right now. It's time for you to grow up. Your grandfather leaves to examine the other rooms of the house. I would not feel that way. Soon, grandfather leaves. Your elder brother Stefan goes with him. So is this kind of like roguelite? Well, you get to, so you have the freedom to die, I think like 4 times. On the 5th death, the game ends here. It won't let me adjust these. Hang on, let me do this, then I can go over here. Soon grandfather leaves, your elder brother Stefan goes with him. From that day on, father's hired teachers tend to you alone. They bore you with the monotonous lectures on writing, counting, and the way of life in the blessed Arcanian Empire. You often distract yourself from their instruction by playing with your younger brother Nathan. Your home grows quiet without your older brother. Too quiet. Weeks later, your family receives a letter from Stefan. Grandfather has sent him to a boarding school for nobles, and he is now studying hard in preparation for his service as a nobleman. The rules here are way too strict. You can't even sneeze without the teacher's permission. But I've been studying with my peers. We're learning how to live as nobles in a noble society. We're also learning the art of swordplay. That's my favorite part. With Stefan now at the boarding school, grandfather arrives once more, this time to live in your home. The only good thing is that he often has urgent business in Eterna, the capital of the empire, and has to travel there. One day, you ask mother where he lived before. In Eterna, she says, but now his place is here. Each time grandfather returns, he gives the servants new orders. Your home is now always busy with repairs. The servants are redecorating grandfather's chambers, including his library and also his sitting room. Sometimes father tries to gently talk him out of this. Why subject the house to constant reconstruction? Grandfather's answer is always the same. This home is mine. I will live here as befits a man of nobility. Okay, so you get destiny right here, see? So it looks like you have a chance of unlocking certain things. So every single one, you have a choice of like unlocking these things. This is you. So yeah, you get 1, 2, 3. On the 4th death, you like that the game ends. These are what we have, and this is our house, our reputation, our wealth, our unity, and the family. Cool. All right. I'm determined to get myself here. I really wish I did this, but I don't know. I kind of regret not getting it, but whatever. I want this and I want this. I do not want death. Alright, so some days grandfather stays home, and on those days you try your best to stay out of his sight. But there was God. That was me growing up. When my stepmom, she worked when we were living in Vegas. She had to work on the weekdays in California, so she would leave. And during the week, everything would be great. The family would get along. The house would be full of life and laugh and just music, and it'd be great. Everybody would do their own thing, or we'd have to spend time together as a family. We'd have like dinner and just have a great time, you know. We'd watch shows or movies together, or play games. It was really, really nice. And then on Fridays, when everyone's like, "Oh, I'm so excited, it's the weekend," we despised it. We were horrified by it. Because on Friday, she would return. And you can feel the tension. You can feel the despair. Because as soon as she came home, She would demand to see our schoolwork. She would demand to inspect the house. She would constantly berate and belittle us and crack jokes, or if we try cracking jokes, or if we try doing anything that we did during the week, we'd be scolded and get in trouble and grounded. So during the weekdays, we were happy and fine and everything was great. On the weekends, it was hell. Those 3 days were torture. And it made me terrified of weekends for a long time. A long time. I got anxiety. I got anxious. I got scared of weekends. I only ever wanted it to be Monday or Tuesday or Wednesday. Because those 3 days, guaranteed she would not come home. Sometimes she would randomly come home on Thursdays, or she'd always come home Friday nights, and it was just the absolute fucking worst. Just absolute fucking worst. And I can't. I'm happy. I'm no longer part of that. I'm now at the point where, just like any other normal human or adult, I get excited for the weekend and get miserable on Monday. So thankfully, I outgrew that. But I mean, for a while in the Marine Corps, I was terrified of Thursdays too. But yeah, it was stuff like that. So I get this, where we would try to stay out of her sight. We wouldn't make any noise. The whole point is, what I'm saying is, we would try to avoid her with everything. We would avoid her. I would never look her in the face. I would never look her in the eye, because if she did, she would ask me a question, which would inevitably get me fucking in trouble. Because no matter what she asked me, it was rigged so that no matter what the answer was, I would get in trouble. So I would never look her in the face. I would always keep my head down. I would avoid eye contact with her. I wouldn't make any noise that would make her yell at me, because then she would ask questions when I had to respond to her, and then get in trouble, yada yada. So I just would never make any noise, would stay quiet. I wasn't allowed to leave the house, so I couldn't just walk away or go hang out with my friends. That wasn't allowed. I had to stay inside the house. I wasn't allowed to be inside my room, because A, there's nothing inside there, and B, I wasn't allowed to be a hermit. So I had to be downstairs, inside the living room, just quietly sit there. Don't have a book, can't play video games, can't turn on the TV, just sit there and wait for 3 days on the weekends for it to be over. On the weekends, I wasn't allowed to go out and hang out with my friends. Only on the weekdays, when they weren't able to because it was a school night. It was fucking rough. So what I'm trying to get at is, I firmly understand this. I fully get this, where just try to stay out of sight, out of mind. Don't think, don't hear, don't, if they don't think about you, you don't exist, and that's where you want to be. You do not want to exist. So I fully get where this is coming from. Fully. Okay. Up. Try to stay out of sight, but there is no way you can avoid family breakfast. The food is there, but you cannot bring yourself to eat it. Mother's eyes are red and swollen. She's been crying all night again. Grandfather sits at the head of the table where nobody used to sit before. Robert, it is time your youngest sons underwent their sacraments. Sir Brant, please, let them live free of the lot for a while longer. They are but... Shut your mouth! Robert, that wife of yours is impertinent enough to interrupt me. If this ever happens again, she'll be eating her gruel with the servants in the kitchen where she belongs. It is time you considered a real marriage, Robert. One to woman of proper station. Gloria drops her fork. Grandfather shoots her a scathing look. A tear rolls down Mother's cheek. Her father does not look away from the plate, his hands clenched into fists. Baroness L. Lodar is one such woman. She is a comely widow and a fine match. She is suing for her inheritance right now and could use proper support and a husband. You can keep your lowborn Lydia around if you'd like. Servant, mistress, I don't care. I will not do that, father. I am the head of this family, and the family's standing took a severe blow after you married that commoner. It is unthinkable. How could you give up the memory of a beautiful Amelia L. Bourne for this lowly woman and that bastard child of hers? But now you have a chance to set things right. Don't disappoint me. Father nods curtly, trying not to look in Mother's direction. Father, I wish to see Stefan. If I find your conduct in the Baroness's presence satisfactory enough, then you may see him. She's coming for a visit tomorrow. Oh shit. Be prepared. Grandfather wipes his mouth with his napkin, throws it onto his plate, and leaves. Mother's lips move silently. Nobody says a word. Then father stands up and orders you and the other children back to your rooms. He needs to speak to mother in private. Father comes to your room before bedtime. He sits on the edge of the bed and adjusts the crease on the woolen blanket. He distanced himself from you after Stefan's departure, so you are not used to such attention from him. In the candlelight, you can see his face in the dark. There's a sour expression on it. My son, Baroness Emma L. Lodar will be visiting us tomorrow. Please be polite and treat her with respect. Nathan will do as you do. I want this dinner to be as immaculate as possible. Don't let me down. On the next day, Mother starts dressing you and Nathan for the coming dinner. You see red all around her eyes. She's been crying, and for a long time, it hurts just to look at her. Nathan starts whining silently. You and Nathan are dressed in new doublets, your tousled hair brushed into shape. Gloria is told to stay in her room. Father appears wearing his best suit. Mother is in a humble brown dress, looking pale. Grandfather is an uncharacteristically contented look about him. You hear the sound of wheels and hooves against the cobbles in the yard. Then a pair of dainty heels come clacking. The antechamber, right? The antechamber is completely quiet and still, fearing grandfather's observant eyes. The door opens. You see your guest, a beautiful dark-haired woman in a dress of elegant deep blue. Father takes the hand of Lady L. Lodar, and kisses it, showering her in compliments. Grandfather's face is beaming in her presence. No one even bothers to introduce Mother. Baroness, allow me to introduce you, Robert's son, Bear and Nathan Brante. Frankly, it's his eldest, Stefan, who deserves the most attention, but currently he is studying in Eterna with another young nobleman like himself. It is my hope that his younger sons will also make me proud someday. Grandfather eyes you with a probing look. How will you act in front of the Baroness? Will you accept her here next to your mother, your father's rightful wife? Jesus, okay. Greet the Baroness politely. Walk away with mother. We can't. Okay. Maintain your composure. Demand that mother be introduced. I say we do that. Lydia's gonna get shot down one. Uni's gonna go down by one. I feel like Uni's, no matter what, we're not gonna be able to keep the family together. But reputation we can use, because if I try to rise up to be a noble, I need to have good reputation, and I need to have Robert and Gregor on my side. And Gregor right now is -1, so. So I greet her politely. You follow father's example and kiss the Baroness's finger gently. Her laughter fills the antechamber, ringing like chimes. You gallantly offer to lead her to the sitting room. Lady L. Ladar graciously agrees. Behind your back, you can hear her mother sobbing. Fuck. Grandfather and Baroness L. Ladar engage in small talk over dinner. She tells him of the woes of litigation over her late husband's inheritance, and he advises her like the judge he is. Father is mostly silent, only getting in a word or two. You do your absolute best to behave yourself. After the decorous farewells to Lady L. Ladar, Father quietly thanks you for your model behavior. The morning after, he leaves for Eterna with Grandfather to visit Stefan. Mother spends almost an entire day in her bedroom. You cannot bring yourself to speak to her. I understand. Father returns from the capital in a quiet rage. You overhear your parents talking. Apparently, Grandfather has already poisoned Stefan's mind against him, and he greeted Father with cold hostility. The name of Baroness Eladar is never mentioned in the house again. The kaleidoscope. What the fuck's a kaleidoscope? Father now checks on your studies often and nitpicks you for sitting or eating or speaking in an incoherent fashion. Or incorrect fashion. Once becomes so annoyed, he says that he wishes Stefan had been the one to stay home instead of you. Whoa! You never expected to hear these words from your father, of all people. Right? Grandfather's trip to the capital took longer than expected. It feels light around the house without his presence. You allow yourself a little change of scenery. Instead of your room, you now busy yourself with reading and calculations in the sitting room across from the open door to the yard. Gloria has joined you today. She has already helped you progress through several complex passages in the book. Right now, she seems preoccupied with a strange tube. Aren't you hurt by the way grandfather treats you, you ask? Gloria just shrugs. Grandfather always says they should get rid of me. I'm used to it now. He hurts you a lot worse because you're closer to him. I just have to stay out of his way. That's it. She shows you the strange tube she has been holding all day. Look, it's a kaleidoscope. I got it as a gift. Want to see inside? Excited by the idea, you close the book and peer into the tiny hole on one end of the tube. Your eyes see a multitude of intricate patterns. Each turn of the tube reveals a new web of interwoven colors. Ah! It's one of those little fucking thingies. They mesmerize you. The kaleidoscope turns the fire burning in the fireplace into a cavalry made of flames. You are riding at the front of a fiery horseman, ready to face the enemy. Grandfather's face emerges from the intersecting lines. You swing the kaleidoscope like a sword, cutting it in half. Now you look at the blue sky through the window. The patterns are unending, secretive, and calm and peaceful. Just like father's smile before grandfather's invasion. The deep blue gives way to a scattering of gold radiating gentle warmth, like mother's arms. This fleeting beauty too soon gives way to a hypnotic new pattern. Again and again you see your family in these interconnecting figures as they come together and break apart. And in the middle of this golden glow you see Gloria's green eyes gazing at you observantly. Your sister left you long ago. The books are abandoned and time slips away unchecked. But you're still too busy peering into the kaleidoscope. Order emerges from the chaos before your eyes again and again, but you cannot preserve it no matter how you try. You're caught in an inner conflict. There is so much that can be done with this kaleidoscope. Should you take it apart, or ask Gloria how it works, or keep enjoying the patterns it shows you? But you still have lessons to do today. I do not want to take the kaleidoscope apart. You cannot know. My willpower, return to your study. I like the determination go up. Okay, give me a second. Heh. You put the kaleidoscope away and return to studying the book. There is so much you have to discuss with Gloria. You cannot help but wonder, what things did she see there? But first, your lessons. When father walks in, he sees you hard at work over the book. He chuckles in approval, then spots the kaleidoscope on the table next to you. He puts the toy to his eye and freezes still for a moment. It takes him an effort to put it back down. Wow. Then he praises you for being diligent and leaves. When today's section of the book is finished, you take the toy upstairs to your sister's room and tell her what you saw in it. Gloria smiles, knowing what you felt. I once saw a barroom full of dancers. I watched it for an entire hour. My hands even got sore. You spend a long time with your sister discussing kaleidoscope figures, and you feel a strong connection to her. The toy has brought you closer together, made you interconnected, just like the lines and figures in its colorful eyes. Alright, so determination went up. Our willpower went down, though. Remember, we gotta try to get our hand on more willpower. This event... Ooh, Father's Sword! This event is a consequence of your previous actions. Yes! When Father's not working long hours, you often see him spending long stretches of time in the backyard, practicing his fencing. You are allowed to watch, but that is it. You are forbidden from touching the sword, let alone actually learning how to fight with it. It is a new day today, and Father has been busy in his studies since early morning. Mother took Gloria and Nathan to the shops. Your studies are done for the day. The house is empty. You spot Father's sword hanging by the yard. You must have left it there by accident after a training session. You deliberate at first, then grab the sword with resolve and run outside. At last, you have a chance to see it up close. It is a small sword used for dueling, heavy and devoid of any ornamentation. You recall that it was made specifically for him. The weapon is difficult to handle. Its heft makes the palm of your hand shake. As you get used to it, you try your best to imitate Father's feints. Your technique leaves much to be desired, but at least it's something. Imagine yourself fighting for the family's honor as a thin blade slices through the air. But you swing too far back, the blade nicks your shoulder and cuts through your shirt, staining the fabric crimson. The sword falls to the ground with a dull clang. You try to apply pressure to the wound to make it stop bleeding, but all you do is make the blood flow faster. Bear, what are you doing here? The familiar voice hurts you more than a cut of the sword. Father walks up to you briskly. His rugged arms rip off a length of cloth and bandage your shoulder. He squats by your side and pulls you into a warm, awkward embrace. My son, why did you have to take the sword? You know you're not supposed to hold it. This is no toy. It is a weapon that can take lives. I know how you feel. I used to yearn for my father's dueling sword back when I was a lad. One day you might have a chance to earn the right to carry a weapon. But first you must have patience and study and become a noble. When that day comes, I'll be proud to teach you myself. You rarely spend time with Father without someone else around. There is paternal love in his voice, so much that even the cut on your shoulder barely hurts now. You would be glad to be convinced by what he says, but how can you forget your dream? How can you abandon it just at your father's approval? Is it right to ask him so much? Oh God. Ask Father to teach you the basics. You muster all your courage and beg Father to teach you how to hold the sword. I'll do it. I'll do it! I'm gonna do it! Father's inquisitive look presses you for an answer. It takes you a long time to muster enough courage to speak. You beg him to teach you how to fight, at least the very basics. It will certainly come in handy in your future. It will be your first step towards becoming a nobleman. Now it takes Father a long time to respond. He is about to speak, and you expect a refusal, but he says nothing. He draws a sharp breath again, but remains quiet. Then finally, he offers you the sword. But remember this, Bear. You are not a warrior. Not yet. You will study this like you study your lessons. He teaches you the first lesson right away. You learn to dodge attacks. There are several times when the tip of the blade cuts the air dangerously close to your nose. It is scary and difficult, but you manage it. Oh! Ah! Ah! From that day forth, Father teaches you the foundation of sword fighting and great secrets. You use your passion for tree climbing to explain the cuts you received during training. Soon you learn to hold your own in a duel, but will you ever need this art in real life? Grandfather's visits are no longer a cause for fear or panic in the house. He has become something that you are used to, something nagging, yet not unordinary. Like a splinter or a stain on your trousers. What? So, I'm 100% going to be doing this. But I gotta have a willpower of at least 0. Oh, this could be hard for me to do. Because we are getting close to the end, and I'm at -5. Grandfather's like a splinter or a stain in your trousers. The tension still remains, however. Sir Gregor's disdain for everyone in the house is so palpable, it almost stings for real. Your lessons with the tutor are done for today. You are walking down the stairs when you spot Gloria peeping into the sitting room through a slightly open door. You sneak up on your sister and tap her lightly on the shoulder. She is startled. Oh, it's you, Bear. Look, Sir Gregor's eating something. Grandfather is sitting on the sofa, flipping through a book with one hand, reaching for a glass bowl with another now and then. Inside the bowl, you see candied fruit, a sweet confectionery forbidden to the common estate, like all sweet things. Yet Grandfather's face shows no pleasure as he keeps consuming the high-born treats. The clock strikes 3. Grandfather rises from his seat, puts away the bowl on a half shelf, and leaves for the yard. He always takes a walk in the city at this time. Gloria nudges you with her elbow and looks at the candy bowl when you look at her. The first emotion you feel is fear, but next comes curiosity, and it is stronger. Stefan used to boast that candy fruit tastes incredible, and now you have a perfect opportunity to try it. You try candy fruit first. The sugar starts to melt as soon as you put it on your tongue. It is so sweet! You have never eaten anything as good as this. You take the whole bowl off the shelf and give it to your sister. She takes a fruit and brings it to her mouth carefully, like a rare treasure. There's thumping on the stairs, footsteps accompanied by a knocking of a walking stick. You have no idea why, but Grandfather is back. You quickly hide behind the sofa and pull Glory behind you, but she is frozen in place with a bowl in her hands. The door opens. Grandfather's menacing figure advances on Gloria. His hand seizes her arm. Fuck. You swallowed a grateful, low-born child. How dare you bite the hand that feeds you? You and your trollop of a mother would be sleeping in the ditch if it weren't for my spineless son. The sweet and pleasant things in life are for the noble estate, not for the likes of you. Did you forget your lot? His hand swings and hits Gloria on the cheek. She falls to the floor right next to where you are hidden. Her fingers glisten with the warm melted sugar that brought you here. Grandfather advances again, his walking stick ready, but then he sees you huddled behind the armchair. Please don't hurt him, Sir Brant. This is all my fault. He tried to stop me. You can always see a bruise on Gloria's cheek. This is only the beginning of her punishment. Gloria was caught red-handed, unlike you. You can still avoid your punishment. What is it then, Millsop? Did you try the sugar too, or were you trying to stop this piece of filth? Oh, I'm so sorry, Gloria. I'm sorry, Gloria, but this is my only option. This is literally my only option. You stand up and start talking. Yes, Gloria was telling the truth. You were trying to stop her. Grandfather tilts his head. Thank you, engineer. I'm glad you can see it because it says restricted. I don't know if that means only you and I, like the mods and I, can see that, or if everybody can see that. Anyways, Grandfather tilts his head as he keeps you transfixed by his inhospitable, bitter gaze. Then why did you hide behind the armchair like a petty thief? It was all Gloria, you tell him. She told you to hide. Gloria looks at you with pain and disappointment when you say this. Grandfather nods, satisfied by your answer. He tells you to stay and watch and punish Gloria. Jesus fuck. It's only you mods. Oh, thank God. Okay, good. Because, yeah, it looks like they're starting to get all the bots and start putting them as restricted. That means only the bots and I can see them now. Which is a great sign that Twitch is doing some amazing things. For the first time in your life, you see somebody else being punished. Her skin split apart by Grandfather's walking stick. Her clothes getting soaked in blood as she writhes in agony. Night comes, but Soria's sobbing keeps you awake. You go to her bedroom and try to calm her down, but muffled "Go away" is her only reaction. She lied to Grandfather for you, so why is she angry with you now? I'm sorry, Gloria. Mother takes Gloria to church next morning. They return late in the afternoon, and Gloria begs Father on her knees for forgiveness. She will never ever take what she does not deserve by birth, she pleads. She does not look at you. Not even once. Father and Mother have been focused on Nathan and you since early morning. Instead of breakfast, you are told to say your prayers, wash your hands and faces, and get dressed in plain white shirts. Today is the day of your sacrament. Mother, I want to go play in the yard. No playing today. You and Bear are big boys now. It is time for you both to have your first sacrament. No one can live without a lot. I don't want a lot. Be quiet and listen. You are born commoners, so you must accept a low-born lot before the twins. When you grow up, you will get a chance. Earn a noble lot. Father and Mother take you to the carriage. Nathan is hungry. He starts whining. Grandfather is last to get in the carriage. His eyes are on you and your brother, looking for every fault. Soon the carriage is moving along the streets of... And is all... Oh, fuck. I fucking hate Annie. I'm gonna call it Annie. Fuck it. Slowly and solemnly. One more turn, and you see the colossal white building, marked by two massive pillars. For the first time in your life, you are to enter the Church of the Twin Gods. You enter the gate and walk under the splendorous dome of the church. The church hall is divided into two halves. They are drastically different from one another. The floor on one side is rough and jagged and covered in dried brown spots. That's blood. While the other floor on the other is made of smooth marble. The commoners kneel on the jagged floor, and the well-dressed nobles and their families sit on pews. Father and Grandfather leave you to sit on one of the nobles' pews. Mother walks to the rough stone of the commoner's side and gets down on her knees. You see her wince in pain, for the lowborn state shall suffer in the house of faith. The church acolytes surround you and lead you to the altar, where you and other children will take your sacrament this day. Before you stands a tall priest dressed in black, with a sword in one hand and a hefty whip in the other. Nathan's whining grow louder. He dislikes this place. He is scared. You remain quiet, but your stomach rolled in uneasy anticipation. The first child to take the sacrament is a jaunty little boy from a family of nobles. The priest extends the sword before him and recites the words of his lot. From this day forth he will fight and rule and pursue the arts, his mind now forever free from the throes of suffering, for he now belongs to the noble lot. The boy proudly touches the flat of the blade with his lips. Nathan is next to receive the sacrament. He suddenly snaps out of his fearful trance and tries to break free, but the acolyte pulls him towards the altar and throws him on the jagged floor of the lowborn side. The sharp edges bite into Nathan's knees as he lands, spraying drops of red around him. Oh, God. I don't wanna. Bear, why do they want to whip me? What did I do? You try to break free and run to Nathan's side. You want to give him courage and protect him, but the acolyte's grip on you is too firm. You feel utterly helpless. Your brother has to face the world all by himself. The priest starts reciting the words of the lot as he swings the lash over Nathan's shoulder. From this day forth, Nathan, thou shalt endure and work and suffer. Thou shalt be ardent in thy labor and humble in obedience to thy rulers. And now cometh thy first true suffering, which thou must accept with gratitude. The lash cracks. It strikes his right shoulder. It strikes his left shoulder. The blows are so powerful that Nathan falls to the floor. The priest tells him to rise. He has received his lot. Nathan gets on his feet and drags himself towards Mother, his knees torn and bloodied, his spirit broken. It is your turn. Your feet will not move. You can barely muster enough strength to walk to the altar. You get down on your knees and feel the sharp stones below. So sharp your clothing cannot protect you. Your skin begins to burn. The acolyte forces your head down and you feel the lash being drawn above you, ready to strike. The priest's words are for you now. This is thy sacrament. Thou shalt work and endure and suffer. Thou art about to receive thy first true sufferings by the sacred lash. Dost thou accept thy lot? Accept it. Raise your head. Catch the lash. Catch the lash. That's awesome. I say kiss the sword. Oh, we did it! The whip slices through the air, about to strike, but your eyes are transfixed by the blade the priest holds in his other hand. You jump up and away. The lash misses you. You grab the blade with your hands, and it cuts into them without mercy. The priest wrenches it away from your bloody fingers. You look him straight in the eyes. I am Bear of House Brant. The priest freezes in shock. You seize this moment to pull the sword closer and kiss the smooth, cold blade. You hear cries of outrage amongst the churchgoers. Mother prostrates herself on the jagged floor, racked with fear. Father remains still, baffled by what you have just done. But grandfather looks at you intently, as though truly seeing you for the first time. There is a semblance of respect in his gaze. You are forced back to the commoner's place at the altar. The acolyte seizes you by the arms and legs and keep your face bent closely to the bloody, jagged stones of the floor. The lash strikes your right shoulder, then your left shoulder. Then you are told to rise. You are a commoner. Mother takes your hand and leads you out of the church. Once you're outside, she scolds you for being insubordinate and bringing shame to your family. Nathan holds your hand as you walk, his tearful face a mixture of confusion and awe as he looks into your eyes. But you did not feel as though you have made a mistake. You did what was right for you. My willpower is bad. My perception. Where am I at? Okay, that looks really bad. So it looks like you get multiple sacraments. You challenge the Sacred Order and attempt to seize a noble lot. The mark left on you by the sacrament takes a long, long time to heal. Mother says it is a reminder of your lot. Suffering and sufferance, pain and patience. Gloria shows you the mark of the lash of her shoulder one day. It will never disappear. You are a commoner now. This is the lot you were born into. But Father keeps telling you that you to study hard so you may yet earn a different lot and become a noble of the mantle. You recall the past with warm sadness. When Stefan still lived with you, or when he wrote to you for a time shortly after he left, now he thinks it beneath him to write to the commoners in his family. Mother didn't lock herself in the bedroom as often back then. This changed shortly before Nathan was born. But most importantly, you missed the time before the terrifying figure of your grandfather was constantly looming over you. You learned the true power of the lot only after the head of the family's arrival. In grandfather's eyes, no commoner deserves to be treated with kindness. You don't like that answer. Is this just him, or is it the way of the entire world? The very thought makes you queasy. You are older now, and, what's more, you are an elder brother now. You've learned how to care about someone else, how to teach and protect. Soon, you are a small boy no longer. As the days pass, play gradually gives way to laborious study. Now your choices will decide your place in the bizarre and ruthless world of adulthood. Your childhood years are over. Alright, so this is where I stand right now. Shion, hey, back over here. What are you doing? Stop it. Go away. I don't know why, but she's like wrapping all underneath my desk.
I was growing up fast. The school, the streets, and the whole wide world awaited me beyond the gate of my parents' house.
Adolescence. Alright. You lived in this world for 8 years now, but as you grow older, life grows more complex. The world of your childhood was limited to your house and family, but now that realm is expanding. It also includes... The fuck you sniffing? It also includes your neighborhood, the nearby houses, the streets of the ancient city of Anzi. The question now looms over you, growing more pressing with each passing year. What will your place be in this vast outside world? That is not for you to take. See, that's... No. No. What's with cats and plastic, dude? Few people in the blessed Arcanian Empire trouble themselves with this question. It's not within a man or woman's power to choose. Their destiny is predetermined by their birth, and those who bore them. Whoa! Easy there, cat. Your back bears a mark of the lash. Will you accept the drudgery and suffering that is the lot of the lowborn of your entire life? Or will you follow in the footsteps of your father and your father's father and fight for the right to serve the empire as a noble of the mantle? Perhaps you will. Perhaps will you follow the twin god's word and offer spiritual guidance to others? The answer lies out there in the vast, terrifying world. What waits you beyond the wall of your home? Gloria's secret. Spirituality. Oh, I can meet a girl. As an 8-year-old, I guess. So now I'm going to learn about nobility, my ingenuity, my spirituality, and my willpower, which I'm exhausted on. So I really got to work hard to get my willpower back up, because that is not good. Alright. Our province, currently. Order's doing fine, wealth is doing fine, church is not doing well at all. Really bad, actually. Power is -4. So this is the capital, and we live down here. Interesting. Okay, cool. So that's where we'll end it, because after this, it's going to be a whole other chapter, and it's going to take forever. So instead of us, going partly through the chapter and just stopping, coming back, I'm thinking that we'll do this by chapter, and then that way you guys have chapter 1, chapter 2. Instead of us just having it chopped up, you can literally go onto the streams, go onto YouTube, and be like, all right, here's chapter 1. All right, here's chapter 2. All right, here's chapter 3, and just go through that. So I think that's what we're probably gonna do. I think that's the best idea. Yeah, this is the life and suffering of Sir Bear Brante. Esquire. Either way, so that was the life and suffering of Sir Brante. Poof, put it back up there. We can even do this. Here we'll even put it back on Thursdays, just in case something happens. Tomorrow we got. Actually, I just found out today that tomorrow isn't gonna happen. So I gotta find something different for you guys. I don't want to do this 2 days back to back for you guys. I don't want to do that. I want to do something more fun, more exciting, more. So I might give you guys a horror game. Yes? What do you guys think? Yes? No? Yes? No? Yes? No? Yes? I think we'll do a horror game. A very old horror game, but a freebie. I know I have the Master Skull on, but I think we can have fun, right? A Friday night horror game before the weekend starts. I think that Spooky Friday, yeah. Sir Bear Brante, Escargot. I was right. Yeah, look at me go. But I think a horror game to make up for being off schedule for both Thursday and Friday. I think a horror game would be an adequate punishment, as is our lot as commoners. Yes, but so I think it's what we'll do. Yeah, I think that sounds like a great idea. So that's what we're gonna do. Saturday, don't expect any streams of any kind, and Sunday will be Dead Island 2 and coming right back with Once Human. So that's our game plan for the rest of this week. So with that being said, everybody have a good night, and colonizers, stay strong.